Hey guys, welcome back to TK Sports. We have another couple videos going out the next couple days. This one's going to be more about baseball and a little bit of basketball, about what we think about the pace of play thing with Major League Baseball, and then we'll address the 1 through 16 playoff seedings in basketball. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. As far as the rule changes for baseball, there's a new rule out this year implemented that you can only have 6 mound visits per game, and then one gets added every extra inning for each team.
Yeah.
So I don't think this rule really helps draw or cut down pace of play or helps draw a younger, bigger audience, just because I feel like the youth is more highlight driven, and I don't think they really want to watch a full baseball game anyways. I mean, or any game.
Yeah, definitely. I think what they're trying to do here is cut back on the time to appeal to a younger crowd, and I just don't know if cutting back another 5 to 10 minutes like they did last year is really going to make that big of a difference. I mean, in the big scheme of things, 6 mound visits, potentially more with extra innings, is still a lot of mound visits.
Yeah, when I first heard it, I said, "Oh, that's not going to affect it much." I mean, 6 mound visits, they're still going to be able to strategize the game. But when you get deeper into games and these longer games where there's like 7 to 8 combined runs, 4-4, 5-4 games.
And you're sending guys out. You're sending guys out maybe to face one batter sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it'll eliminate a little bit of that, but I don't think that eliminating that is really what they're trying to. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think that eliminating that is going to give them what they're trying to get from it.
Yeah, I think this hurts more baseball purists than really it draws more people to the game.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a problem. So
definitely,
you got to find. There's a fine line between strategizing for baseball and then, having it fast and having a fast-paced game. Because let's face it, baseball's not really a fast-paced game anyway, compared to basketball and football. So I think they just need, to not worry about how many hours and minutes it's taking and just play the game.
Yeah, definitely.
I think if there's more stars and more, attraction that way, then I think more people will come.
Yeah, and I think I was reading in an article once, too, that kind of broke down the feeling you get when you're watching baseball. And their argument that they were making was the reason why people love baseball in the postseason is the same reason that they hate it in the regular season. And part of that is because of the pace of the game. In the regular season, you could go long, spans of time without really having much action. And then boom, somebody hits a home run, and it's like, okay, like I was really bored for the last 30 or 45 minutes, but okay, I got that temporary burst of adrenaline. But in the playoff atmosphere, it's almost like you get that adrenaline the whole time because it's like, what if it happens? You're kind of waiting for that thing. And I think that that's really what they need to fix. I think they need to find a way to bring that element of that basically a way to give fans that adrenaline rush, I guess, in your regular season games. I mean, that's the only way I can think about it.
We did see a major league record of home runs hit last year. And
Definitely.
That still wasn't enough. I mean, it's kind of crazy, to think about that, because we survived the steroid era of how many home runs were hit, between Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, so on and so forth. But I think when it comes to baseball, there's 3 true outcomes. There's a strikeout, a walk, and a home run. And we're seeing those 3 true outcomes become alive like never before. I mean, the amount of home runs are hit are a lot, but the strikeout and home run strikeout and walk numbers are significantly more than the home run numbers, and that's a problem because that's not exciting. Watching a guy walk down to first, that was fun, 4 pitches.
Yeah.
And the intentional walk, okay, you don't have to throw 4 wide pitches anymore. You can just walk on down to first. That's that shaving 30 seconds, if that. So it's not really making that big of a difference. We still had 3-hour, 30-minute, 4-hour games, and I think over the span of games, it shaved off 5 to 10 minutes of time, and the ratings weren't affected much.
Yeah, definitely. I think what they're trying to do is find a way to shave off 30 to, I'd say, 45 minutes off their game time. And what they're doing right now isn't shaving that time off, and it's more just creating ways that when you're watching the games, it just kind of ticks you off a little bit. You're kind of like why do they do this? Why do they do this now? And I think what they're trying to do is, again, appeal to that younger crowd. And there's other ways that they can shave time off, in my opinion, than like limiting mound visits. Because how much does mound visits affect the time of the game? And in all honesty, when you're at a game, a mound visit isn't that long because they talk, and then sometimes if there's a pitching change, you're going to see the people come out from the bullpen. Maybe you see a defensive shift. When you're in there in person, there's still an element of excitement there. As to where if you're watching it on TV, a pitching change, all that really means is a commercial break.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of is something that frustrates fans as well.
And I think that's where people change the channel.
Yeah.
They just go, well, this mound visit's taking 2 minutes. I'm not doing anything. I'm just staring at this TV and watching Mike Socha, talk to a guy. It's like, well, that's boring, so I'm going to change the channel.
Yeah. And then that's why, college basketball is through the roof right now because, it's like, okay, here's constant action,
Yeah, especially right now. So, but I think a younger audience they don't have the time because I think everyone's pretty busy. But on a lazy Sunday afternoon, I think a younger fan will choose to go out, play the game rather than watch. I hear that a lot where I go, you know what? I like baseball, but I'd rather play it.
Yeah.
I don't really have fun watching it.
Yeah.
And I think the younger audience is more highlight driven. I think there's not a lot of people, at least our age, that are sitting down watching any sporting event for 3 hours.
Unless it's football or basketball.
Yeah,
and those aren't that duration.
Action.
Yeah. And that's not really even that long of a duration. It's,
It's 2.5 hours.
With constant action. You're right. Yeah.
I think football takes longer, but
yeah.
Football's more exciting. There's a play every 30 seconds, and then there's about 30 seconds of break, and then another play.
Yeah.
And so it just constantly. But that play is like almost an equivalent to a home run.
Yeah.
To a baseball game.
Yeah, definitely.
Where it's like a big run.
Even when I'm watching a football game, I get like almost the same excitement on a 10-yard swing route that I do when I see somebody hit a home run.
Yeah.
And how many times does a team pick up 10 yards a game?
And that's
it's pretty constant.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just baseball can't get on football's level, and that's why football's always been more popular than baseball. Even though baseball is America's pastime. Yeah. But the reason it's America's pastime is because of the heroes of Joe DiMaggio, Babe Ruth, and because of players like that. Yeah. But where football came into the 50s and 60s, it's like it overtook pretty fast. Yeah. In basketball. So basketball is really exciting right now. You have the super teams with the Warriors and the Rockets and the Cavs and all those kind of teams. So yeah. But baseball, I think the stars aren't as outspoken. Like Mike Trout is pretty quiet. Yeah. Se. And I think guys like Steph Curry are relatable.
Yeah, they don't market their talent like the NBA and the NFL does.
They really don't.
And again, like we were talking about earlier, what they're really trying to do is appeal to a younger crowd. Yeah. And perhaps maybe it's just all in the marketing. I mean, you never hear anything about big name baseball players. Mm-hmm. They aren't in very many commercials. They aren't on TV shows or I don't know. I
really don't think I can remember, a commercial with Mike Trout in it.
Yeah.
And going, this is this product. And
but I can't tell you how many times I've seen Odell Beckham Jr. in a commercial.
I know.
Or Peyton Manning in a commercial.
I think the only baseball player I've really seen is Bryce Harper. It's like a T-Mobile commercial or something.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Giancarlo Stanton a couple times.
Yeah.
That doesn't even equate to the commercials Cam Newton or these other NFL, NBA stars have been in.
Yeah, definitely.
Steph Curry. So
definitely.
But it's not really baseball's fault. It's just more of the game. And when you're shaving off 30 to 45 minutes, is that really there's a thin line between trying to keep the integrity of the game and have it
trying to bring in a new audience.
Yeah. Up. And that's just hard to find. Is that thin line? So.
Yeah.
But as a purist, I would just like to see it the way it is. Whoever doesn't like it, you don't have to watch it. I know it's obviously a network-driven kind of league, and they want more ratings. But it's going to be you have to do something dramatically different to compete with the NBA and the NFL.
Yeah, definitely.
So moving on, we're going to talk about the 1 through 16 seed of basketball and what we think about it. When I first heard about maybe this being a thing, I just kind of was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Like a March Madness, everyone can fill out a bracket. Everyone can kind of, in March Madness, I think Kansas is going to win. I think Arizona, Louisville, all these different colleges. But in basketball, it's like there's only a few teams that could really win it.
Yeah.
So I think if the March Madness thing and people more, sports investing, what's more sports betting. I know people like to call it investing, but no, but it's more March Madness like.
Yeah, definitely. I heard a quote. I want to say it was on Bleacher Report, or I don't know if ESPN put it out, but LeBron James was basically quoted saying, mess with the All-Star Weekend all you want, but don't mess with the playoff, the playoffs structure.
That affects him personally because the East is significantly less powerful.
When I saw that, because it was on Instagram, and when I saw that, I was reading the comments, and that's what.
It didn't really surprise me that he said that.
Everybody was saying that.
I kind of knew that he wouldn't be on board with it. I mean, I'm not really on board with it just because of the fact, logistically, it would make a lot of sense with the travel. I mean, would you have a team traveling cross country in the first round compared to another team that have to play the next round who stayed in the same state?
Yeah.
So that would be tough.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that would make a lot of sense. And I think just based on power rankings and like seeding, it'd be tough to do. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what Adam Silver's trying to do here as the commissioner, I think that this is a very in the moment thing that he's bringing up. I know that it's been mentioned a few times in the past, but never really what it's at right now. And I think that with the change of the All-Star Weekend that just happened, and how positive the community reacted to that, I think he's trying to capture what's going on right now and basically say well, maybe I can change this, maybe I can change this. Mm-hmm. And I know he's not pushing a bunch of things at once, but I think that seeing the success of this All-Star Weekend and seeing how changing a tradition and how people sometimes gravitate towards that, I think he's trying to do the same thing with the playoffs here. And I don't know if it's a good thing. I mean, you could potentially harm a lot of Eastern-Western rivalries. You're messing with sports traditions. I mean,
yeah, when we look back, it's going to be tough to keep continuity and really think, well, did they have an easier path because of this new playoff strength playoff schedule? So like the Warriors, would they have an easier path if the Rockets had to play a tougher team, or the Spurs had to play a tougher team, or the Cavs, or whoever, the Celtics?
But my argument towards that would be, at the end of the day, the path doesn't really get remembered.
Yeah.
I would argue it's who won the championship.
Yeah, but when we look back, I know what you mean, but it's more just were the championships, I don't want to say weaker, but
I mean,
were other ones stronger.
Look at the last few years. You look at Golden State and Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Cleveland's had an easier route to get to the finals.
Definitely.
Golden State has won 2 of 3, but when Cleveland beat Golden State, not last year but the year before, people didn't say, look at how easy of a path they had to the finals. They said, wow, they beat Golden State in the finals. And I think that that's really what matters.
And I think it's vice versa, too. I don't think people are remembering how tough of a time it was.
Yeah, they had OKC, and didn't they play the Spurs, too?
They played the Spurs. No, they didn't play the Spurs.
Okay, yeah.
No, but Steph was hurt in that playoff run, so they had a lot of injuries going to that, and Draymond got suspended in the finals, obviously.
Yeah. But
we're not going to dive too much into that, but we're just going to talk about the 1 through 16. But yeah, when I first heard about it, I loved it, and then I thought more about, the actual logistics of it, and not just in a hypothetical world where, this would work out. But
yeah.
So I think that just about wraps it up. Those are kind of our thoughts on the pace of play thing with the Major League Baseball and the NBA 1 through 16 seedings. So if you guys could like, comment, share, subscribe on our videos, really appreciate more support. And we'll see you next time. This is TK Sports.